Hello, my name's Gav Cross, and I'm a storyteller. And I like reading supernatural stories. Tonight I'm going to be reading from the ghost stories chosen by Robert Westall. And I'm going to read to you The Knock at the Manor Gate by Franz Kafka. It was summer, a hot day. With my sister, I was passing the gate of a great house on the way home. I cannot tell you now whether she knocked on the gate out of mischief or out of absence of mind, or merely threatened it with her hand and did not knock at all. 100 paces farther on along the road, which here turned to the left, began the village. We did not know it very well, but no sooner had we passed the first house when people appeared and made friendly or warning signs to us. They were themselves apparently terrified, bowed with terror. They pointed towards the manor house that we had passed and reminded us of the knock on the gate. The proprietor of the manor would charge us with it. The interrogation would begin immediately. I remained quite calm and also tried to calm my sister's fears. Probably she had not struck the door at all, and if she had, it could never be proved. I tried to make this clear to the people around us. They listened to me, but refrained from passing any opinion. Later they told me that not only my sister, but I too, as her brother, would be charged. I nodded and smiled. We all gazed back at the manor as one watches a distant smoke cloud and waits for the flames to appear. And right enough, we presently saw a horseman riding in through the wide open gate. Dust rose, concealing everything. Only the tops of the tall spears glittered, and hardly had the troop vanished into the manor courtyard before they seemed to have turned their horses again, for they were already on their way to us. I urged my sister to leave me. I myself would set everything right. She refused to leave me. I told her that she should at least change, as to appear in better clothes before these gentlemen. At last she obeyed and set out on the long road to our home. Already the horsemen were beside us, and even before dismounting they inquired after my sister. She wasn't here at the moment, was the apprehensive reply, but she would come later. The answer was received with indifference. The important thing seemed their having found me. The chief members of the party appeared to be a young, lively fellow who was judge, and his silent assistant, who was called Assman. I commanded to enter the village inn. I was commanded. Shaking my head and hitching up my trousers, I slowly began my statement, while the sharp eyes of the party scrutinized me. I still half believed that a word would be enough to free me, a city man with honour too, from this peasant folk. But when I stepped over the threshold of the inn, the judge, who had hastened in front, was already awaiting me. He said, "I'm very sorry for this, man." And it was beyond all possibility of doubt that by this he did not mean my present state, but something that was to happen to me. The room looked more like a prison cell than an inn parlour. Great stone flags on the floor, dark, quite bare walls, into one of which was an iron rung that was fixed in the middle of something that looked like half a pallet, half an operating table. Could I endure any other air than prison now? That is the great question. Or rather, it would be, if I still had any prospect of release. The Knock at the Manor Gate by Franz Kafka. Read to you by Gav Cross. Quite short. Not very sweet. Read live on Twitch on Monday nights, and then popped here on YouTube. Thank you very much for any likes and comments. I always reply. I always enjoy getting them. Got lots of stories here on my YouTube. And also I read stories and tell ghost stories live. You can find me via my link tree all over the place. And I've got a whole winter of ghost stories to tell live.